What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are doing a little bit of a live stream leftovers video today. Yesterday I did a live stream and I did not have time to get to all the requests, so with that I have some that are left over. And that's exactly the point of this video here. There will be cryptos in here, there will be Grayscale trusts, there will be stocks and crypto mining stocks. So I'm going to go over the list right now. I will do my best to leave in the description the order of the list of what we're going to be talking about, and I will even do timestamps as well. But without any more of that, let's get into it. By the way, I just want to say actually, before we do get started, I want to say thank you to everybody who watched the video, who was there to participate in the live stream. Thank you all for subscribing and liking. I had 2,400 or 2,100, maybe it was more than that, people watched the live stream overall. Not all at once, but just after I posted it, and I think that's the most views I've ever had for a live stream video. So I'm very grateful for everybody. I love the live streams, man. They're fun. I know you guys get a kick out of them too. I really do enjoy the interactivity that we have, and just the BSing and all that stuff while still doing work, right? We're still learning things, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But man, the point of this video is to not BS too much. It's to be direct and timely and efficient with the analysis. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to talk about ML, Fantom, FARM, Tesla, BTBT, GSOL, Dogecoin, TIA, Pepe, KRYLL, HZEN, YFI, Bitfarms, ICP, SPA, and Cardano to finish it all off. There are no shout outs because when I wrote this list down, I'm going through the slew of comments on the live stream, and I'm not writing people's names down with it, right? I'm just writing the comments. So shout out to everybody who left the requests. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Again, you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for being here, and let's get started. Enough of all that. Yeah. So looking at ML here, mint layer. Never heard of this thing before this cycle, obviously. I mean, obviously, because it just came out, but I feel like the first time I heard about it was sometime late last year, and it has been moving down for quite a bit, but you had quite an immense move up, so it makes sense that you're going to consolidate. It's okay to do that. I wonder, this is on MEXC, probably... Yeah, you probably got the most data there, so we're just going to leave it at that. I would expect that you pull back to about 23 cents. And I would assume that my last video that I made talking about this, or any video that I mentioned this as a request, I probably said the same thing. 23 cents makes sense to me. Weekly RSI looks like it wants to continue down. You rejected the 50 area. You're probably fine, right? You're probably going to be fine overall. After a very strong move, it's very common to find support at your 382, and at it does not mean that you can't do something like this, right? You could go here, you could wick all the way down, and in the same day close back up here. You could see prices as low as 16 cents, 15 cents, and still be fine, okay? But we do generally want to hold support around that 23 cent zone. So I think until we get there, you've got a little bit of ways to go. It looks like you're just marching your way down there, so I'm assuming that you're going to continue to do that. It's very common whenever you find your lows on a move like this to see some kind of like intense sell off at the end of it, so do anticipate that, but it might not. I say it's common, it doesn't mean it has to. You could just continue in this little like flag of a pattern down, just meticulously working your way down. There's a better word for it that I can't think of, but meandering. I like to say meandering. Yeah, down. Looking at the daily. Yeah, daily RSI looks like you want to go lower. So that's what I'm thinking. Don't talk to me until you're at 23 cents at least. I would anticipate that you go lower, really anywhere from like 20 to 23 cents. But if you were to go lower than that even, you're probably still fine. Just better opportunities to buy and better opportunities to test your patience and endurance with if you buy here, can you hold if it goes down here? Do you have the audacity, the gumption to buy at those lower prices? I don't think that it will go down there. It is possible. It's totally fine if it does. But I would think after a move like this, finding support at a previous high here, around there, at 23 cents or 382, that makes sense to me. So that's personally what I'm looking for. 23 cents, probably just below that. If I was looking to buy this thing, and I'm not that I have anything against it, I just don't know anything about it, and I've got my hands in the coins that I do want to buy. If I was looking to buy this thing, I would probably put my first buy order literally right at about 23.1 cents, because it is very common to go just below there. I mean, maybe, I don't know, if I really wanted to buy it, maybe I would buy just above the 382, just in case you get one of those less common moves where you bounce right above it. That could happen, but I think with this being a new coin, I think you'll see a little bit of a, you know, just how you're kind of moving right now. I would think that you'd go a little bit below the 382, but I don't know. Anything can happen. You know, maybe we found our low already, but I don't think we have. I think it's going to go lower, and that's all I got to say. So let's see. Try to move through these a little bit faster. FTM, Fantom. Did I pause? I think I paused it. Yeah, okay, there we go. Fantom on Binance. Yes. Okay. I don't know what that is. I've got a fib drawn here, and it's a weird fib at that. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Is this on log? It is on log. Is this on log? It's not. Have my fibs not been on log this whole time? They have been. Okay, so for some reason, maybe I was using this as like an example one day. I don't know. Let's actually look at that. Let's see. This high to low here. 2272 hit, 1414 found support. I bet you, man, I bet you come back down. Looking at what you're doing right now, it wouldn't surprise me if you went to 33 cents. You're at 72 cents now. You might not. Oh, you might not, though. Because you kind of broke out, didn't you? Not that you can't break back into your accumulation phase. We've seen that with compound. It's just not common. And just because one did it doesn't mean the other one has to. Yeah, I would assume that you hold that 57-cent area. You're at 72 cents now. That might have been your low. That might have been your low, Fantom. I'm going to give it to you. I think that was your low. I don't think that you are absolved from going lower right now. You could go lower, but not lower than this low. I think you could go lower than the current prices, but not lower than that low. I would anticipate that you hold 56.82 cents. That looks about right to me. Yeah, I like that. So good job. Good job for Fantom. It's one of those that already found its low. Yeah, the daily RSI looks a little bit weak. You might come down. You might do a little higher low kind of thing here. You might do the 123 moving average. Maybe it comes up. You find support on that. You might come down and do a double bottom, slightly higher low, or a slightly lower low even. And again, just because I expect this zone to hold, 56.82 cents to hold, doesn't mean that you can't go a little bit below it. If you were to go to 53.5 cents, I would say that you held this zone still. Okay, so it's not super strict, though it could be. I mean, maybe you find an exact bottom right there. That does happen sometimes too. Well, that didn't look right. There we go, an exact bottom. But lower prices from here is really what I'm trying to say. Based off the way the daily RSI looks, the 4-hour. Rejecting this 123 moving average line, but it wasn't a hard rejection. It's rather a soft rejection. So I don't know. I like this. I like this look. I think again a little bit lower. As far as how low do you go, I guess would be the question. Maybe as low as about 62 to 64 cents. You're at 72 cents now. Maybe as low as 69 cents. Hard to say. If I was looking to buy this thing, I'd probably start buying at 69 cents and DCA my way down to about 62 cents or lower even. Yeah. Because as the days go on, you look at this green line, this 123 here, the green line, that moving average, as the days go on, it's going to continue to rise. And what is it going to rise to as the days go on as this continues to drop? That 618 golden ratio zone. It's perfect. It's literally written in the stars, man. It's beautiful. You found support right on that line before, right? Found a little turbulence there, support, and then boom, up once you broke it, right? Support right on that line there. Resistance, turbulence, broke it, and then you move down. Resistance. Arguably, right, in the downtrend, if you sold above the line, it's a great time to sell. If you bought below the line, it's a good time to buy. Bought below the line there, good time to buy. I don't know. Same kind of idea here, potentially. It just lines up very well with that golden ratio. That's why I'm focusing on that so much. But that's Fantom. For those of you that are like, what is this line? It's so magical. It's really not that magical. It can be. It really can be. But it's the 123 moving average. I think I have this set. It says MA, right? And I actually discovered this on my live stream. If you go to the indicators, and you do moving average simple, it'll come up now as SMA. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. I just had this on long enough to where it used to just be the moving average, but now it's TradingView has classified it as a simple moving average instead. So it literally, even though it looks different, even though it says this, it's the exact same thing. I'll show you. All right, just real quick. It's the exact same thing. Right? It literally, it's the exact same thing. You can't even see it because it's right over that. So anyways, Fantom going lower, probably around 62 to 69 cents, something like that. That's my thoughts. Heavy emphasis on that 64 to 62 cent area, maybe 65 to 62 cent area. Farm, we're never going to get through this video at this rate, man. Getting back in the swing of things, man, from vacation, so I'm figuring it out still, right? Let's see. I really do like this weekly RSI. It's a really nice look. I like the bottom. I like the breakout move and everything. It looks really good. Do you have another chart? You do. Yeah, it all looks good, man. It all does. So relative low to relative high, go back to about $61.76, probably just below there, which also coincides with your previous areas of resistance in this accumulation range. Breakout, back test the resistance zone for support, and then move on. It makes sense to me. Lower to go, below $62, but probably above like $55, $58. If you go a little bit lower than that, don't be surprised, but I doubt you'd go below $50. I really doubt that you'd go too much lower than like $56, though. If it happens, don't melt. Everything's okay. I would say probably just below $62. I'm looking around that $58 area, though. That makes sense to me. Just below the 382. That sounds about right to me. Yeah. Yep. That's my thoughts on farm. Tesla. Good old Tesla, man. Oh, not so good. Actually, no. Hey, that's not bad. Up 12% today. Nice. Right? Oh yeah, the earnings. That's what there was earnings call. It's funny. Like negative earnings. This is why they say you don't trade on earnings, man. Earnings happened here, you dumped, you had your chance, and then moved up back to where you started. Sometimes it plays out well, sometimes it doesn't. Anyways, I'm getting a little caught up in things that I know not of, really. Up 10% this week. It does look nice, man. That's a really nice look. You're holding your oversold zone very well. Is that double bullish divergence? I would say that is. Yeah. Kind of. Maybe not. Okay. Let's just see. You probably do have lower to go. That might be the extent of it. Yep, today that might be it, man. Yeah, you're probably going lower, Tesla. You're probably going lower. Nice try. Tricky. 126 to 100. That's where you're going. You're at 162 now. Yeah, probably. And it won't be a straight shot. It hasn't been this whole time. If you were to go up, if I'm wrong, and maybe you do continue, you can move back up to about 180, 187, I would say, to like 200, around there. But I doubt you break above 200. You probably go just below 200 if you were to continue up from here. What about this? Yeah, I stand by that. You probably have lower to go overall, around, let's say, 130 to 100 in this zone, right? But in that time, you could go higher first and then come lower. That's okay. Just because I'm wrong in the short term and it continues to go up higher doesn't mean that I'd be wrong in the long term. It could mean that I'm wrong in the long term, or maybe even the more midterm. It's not that long. Anticipating lower prices. That's really all I have to say. Yeah, let's see. You've battled it out with this 50 every single time you've failed. So let's see if this time's different. I don't think it will be. And in fact, breaking below the 100, pulling back to the 886 for resistance before continuing down to the 1272, 1618 area here that you have, That's what this line is, the 1272. The orange line is the 1618 on the Fibonacci extension. For those of you who are confused, that's what that is. 1272, 1618. Seeing this kind of maneuver where you break below the 100 and then you pull back to the 886 right here, right, which is exactly what you've done. And then moving down to these expected areas of extensions, it's very normal. So that's kind of my thoughts. Let's see what you do though. If you can close above the 886, I'll change my mind. But at the moment, I'm not impressed by lower highs. I don't care how much volume you have. I'm not impressed by it. So that's Tesla. BTBT. I think Tesla's going to be fine. I think it's a great company run by a great guy. You know, I don't know if he's a great guy. Like he seems like a good guy in my opinion, but I don't know him personally. But I think Tesla will do well. I think it's got one of the most driven human beings on the planet behind it, so I think it's going to do very well. But for the time being, probably more downside is my thoughts. And even if I'm wrong on that, inevitably more downside. BTBT. Looking at this here, yeah, I'm not impressed. Same kind of idea. You probably go down to 150. 150 to $1. That's my thoughts on BTBT. Weak looking RSI. You're showing a little strength now, but not really. Lower highs, not impressed. You could go higher first. You're at 224. Perhaps you do go up to 241, maybe even to 265. But I doubt you'd get above this high. I doubt you would form a higher high. And inevitably, even if you were to go higher from here, you would form a lower low, right? And it would be very nice in line with this kind of channel that you have built out. I don't know. It's a parallel channel. If it were to do that, you might just go lower now, though. It wouldn't be crazy. Let's look at the 3 hour. You could go higher in the more immediate term. You really might actually reach for this 240 to 260 zone, 270 zone. But it wouldn't surprise me if you just dropped ass from here too. So that's BTBT. Probably going down inevitably. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but next week or the week after. It's coming upon it soon. GSOL, Grayscale Solana Trust. Looking like it's having a hell of a reversal this week, right? Nice upside, and now you're back down to 392. You had a high of 451. That's some intense volatility, man, especially with the low last week at 326. You went all the way up to 451, man. And now you're back down. That's nice, man. GSOL might be a good one to trade, you guys, right? Just like sell the highs, buy the lows, and forget about it. Or don't forget about it. Just keep doing that. I might want to look at Solana. We're going to do a little bonus one here. Yeah, Solana looks like it wants to go lower, so I would assume GSOL wants to go lower. That's a hell of a bearish reversal candle there. Not a lot of volume, but the most volume that you've seen really, the most volume you've seen since March 25th, to be completely fair. So in about a month. It's weird. It's a weird looking chart with this. I don't know if I want to take that into consideration because it is just so weird. Maybe this high to low. There we go. We got a little something there. Probably around 270. 270 to 200. Yes, you could go as low as $200. Yes, you're at 392 now. But 270 to 200. Best case scenario, you find support around 313. I kind of doubt it. But the 1414 is respected at times. It's not uncommon. It does happen. But I like that 1272, 100 area a little more. The reason I'm not looking at the 886 is you've already found support there. It could happen, but I would think you hold $200. 270 to 313, though, that's probably the more area of focus right now for GSOL. Going down. Going down. Surprise, surprise on a lot of these, right? Dogecoin. Being boring, right? Doing its thing. I know it had its fun in the sun, you guys, but it's still in the phase. And I was wrong. I've been wrong about Dogecoin, man. I really did think that for a long time, since this high, throughout all this time here, I really did think that we were going to go lower than this low, and we just haven't. And this move up convinced me that we're not going lower than that low. It was what needed to take place to convince me that we're not going lower than that low. That was the low. I've got my reasons for thinking for why I thought that wasn't the low. I'm not going to go into it now, but I've made plenty of videos as to why. But essentially, that was the shortest bear market Dogecoin's ever seen. However, you know, we've been in a pretty decent crab market moving sideways, but that's what Dogecoin likes to do. I actually want to pull up the Binance chart for more historical reference. Dogecoin probably does move down. It'll probably be boring, and will probably go to around 10 cents, if not just below it, then perhaps just above it. Somewhere between, I'd say, any and all of these lines, between about, let's call it 12 cents to 9 cents, somewhere in that zone, with a heavier emphasis on that 10-cent area, low to high, relatively speaking. 618 to 69 is at about 9.7 to 8.7 cents. Yes, we could go lower than 9 cents. We could even go lower than 7 cents. There's no reason that Dogecoin couldn't go all the way back down here, man. Like all the way back down here. Even all the way back down here. It really could. It's done things like this before. It will probably be boring. In my opinion, it's not the time to get into to Dogecoin. Not until later this year, if not the very, very beginning of next year. I can be wrong on that. I absolutely can be, but just historically speaking, for what Dogecoin likes to do, it would be odd if it started to move up right now at this phase in the bull cycle. In my opinion, it would be odd. But looking at the weekly RSI, it does look pretty nice, I will say. It could start to look bad. Not bad, but just like it wants to go lower if we continue to persist lower, and I think we will. Daily RSI looks like you want to go lower, so yeah, all that would turn around to the idea that we probably do go lower for Dogecoin. Maybe I should do the monthly. Maybe I should do that. Anywhere from, I would genuinely expect prices below let's just say 11 cents to 8.5 cents, around there. It's hard to say because this is such like a sideways phase down here. It's hard to draw like this bottom. It's debatable that you could draw it here because this was the low that started this move, debatably, right? But out of this whole accumulation phase, this was that most relative low, like actual low right there. So either one could be taken into consideration. I suppose being conservative is better than not being conservative. So I would say, again, 11.5, maybe, if not even 7.5 cents is on the table, somewhere lower. I'd be looking to buy Dogecoin around 10 cents personally, and I probably will, but not right now, not the time. Dogecoin is going to be great. I think it's going to do really well this cycle. It'll probably see prices worth multiple dollars by the end of this cycle, but for now it's going to chill. It's going to be boring. It's going to be a coin. Everything's taking its turn, man. Everything's taking its turn. There are coins that are really exciting taking their turns, and there are coins that are really boring taking their turns. XRP, right? XRP is the one right now that everyone's like, oh, it's forgotten about. It's gonna die, and then it'll do well, and everyone will be excited about it again. And the new one that'll be boring and everyone thinks is dead is going to be Dogecoin, because everything else is being exciting, but Dogecoin isn't. Polkadot is one of those too, you know, stuff like that. So everything takes its turn being boring. Well, maybe not everything, but it does happen. Tia, Celestia, moving down. Is this the right chart? I don't know which chart to use. Maybe Kraken. No, they're all. Yeah. Mexi. Nope. All right. So it all came out at the same time. I don't know where. I don't feel comfortable drawing fibs on this. I mean, that could be it. You know, this could be an accurate fib, but I really don't feel comfortable drawing fibs on that. Harder to do because it's so new. It's just so new. There's not really a discernible low. Yes, this is the low of the chart, but is it really the low? Like out of every chart, like of its historical significance, is this all the history? I don't know. I don't feel comfortable making that choice. Okay, well, what we can say is the daily RSI looks really bad. It doesn't look good at all. I doubt that you will go higher from here. You probably will go lower. You do run the possibility of finding your low above this low, because you came down. This could have been your low. You might not go lower than it, but you still probably go down from here. You're at $10.72. You could go all the way down to $8, $9, a little bit lower than that even. Finding support at this pretty, somewhat significant. Again, it's significant for the chart, but that's because there's no history. But it's a nice little consolidation phase before you moved up here and started sloping down. Found support right at that high. Literally tipped it. Nice volume came in and everything. I would think you go lower from here, but maybe not lower than 723. So look for support. I guess we can take a fib here then. Low to high. Anywhere from $10.10 to $7.70. Anywhere and everywhere in between. High emphasis on that $8.90 to $10.10 area. Yeah. You're at $10.73 right now. So that's TIA. Going down. That's my genuine assumption. Pepe, man. I was saying yesterday that I think, because someone said Pepe had Coinbase futures and what I thought about that. And I said that probably means it's going down, right? We've probably found the relative high. So that's that. And I say relative high. That doesn't mean cycle high. It just means a relative high. Probably going to go down just off of that assumption alone. But let's do the TA. That's not the low. Low here. Five zeros 615, if not 505 to 504.9, somewhere in that area. If not, potentially down to 503, 502, 5015. All those targets are on the table. Absolutely they are. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, right there you got your weekly closing high, which you also had another weekly closing high here. I know that this looks, it's a little bit too much noise with the fib, but weekly closing highs right here, holding that right down at about 5016. I believe that's 50. Yeah, 16. You put the fib back on there. It's right near that 2272, a pretty common area, a common extension to hit whenever you're hitting a deep extension. And on a fib like this, I would expect that you might even. If not, maybe you hold that 886, the 1886 there at 502. Because that does line up pretty well with these high points here as well. So down, man, probably down. Your best hope, in my opinion, for Pepe, genuinely speaking, from the current price would be about a 56% drop. But likely you've got more than that. And that will probably not happen overnight. It'll probably take a month or more. It'll work its way down there. But this is a meme coin. As fast as it moved up, it can make swift moves to the downside and then recover, and then swift move to the downside and then recover. However it works. It might not look exactly like that, but just an idea. I do think Pepe's going lower. Yeah. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, you guys. I really do appreciate all of you for doing that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's see. It's nice that you broke out of this kind of bearish structure on the daily, to be fair. Yeah, but you're finding resistance right at the golden ratio zone. You'd probably go lower, man. Yeah, that looks like a rejection to me. Volume and everything. It's like hidden bearish divergence, really, is what it is. Yeah, you're probably going lower. That's Pepe. Let's move on. Talk about Krill. Krilla. Oh, KR. Okay, that's this one here. KRL. Decent looking chart. It's actually pretty decent. Not bad. It looks weird on the Coinbase chart, in my opinion, for some reason. More historical data with KuCoin, but I don't think we need that. Oh, maybe we do. Let's see. November 1st. November 1st, we have it. Okay, cool. So, isn't that funny, right? You look at the KuCoin chart. It existed all this time. It moves up before it's listed on Coinbase, but the week that it's listed, right? Because this is Coinbase, the first week it's available that it's listed is also where its relative high was, and we just haven't returned to those prices since. But we're recovering now. We are definitely recovering. Maybe I should use KuCoin. 618, 69 resistance, 382 support. It looks so good. Higher lows, it looks really good, man. This is a good one. Finally, we got a good one, you guys. This one might do well over the coming weeks, coming months. Hell yeah. Whoever requested this one. I know you kept requesting it. I forget who it was, but they kept requesting it. I like it, man. I don't like that you found resistance around the 0.5 area. The daily RSI, it's not really giving us too much to go off of. The weekly RSI looks really nice, and the price action itself on the weekly overall, it just looks nice. Yeah. I like it. Is it time to move up right now? I don't know. Maybe. 4 hour. Maybe it is, man. Maybe it's time. Let's see how you do. I'd like to see you break above this 92, 93 cent area. Really, I want to see you break above that $1.40 area, but we're not there yet. We're not even thinking about that yet. We're looking at that 93 cent area. 90 cent to $1. Yeah, you need to get above there. $1.12 would be nice to break as well. So let's see how you do. I'm interested. I'm interested to see how this thing does. It's been around long enough. I like stuff like this, man. I'm not saying everybody should go in and buy this. What is this? Let's look at it real quick. Hold on. Krill. I think I've talked about this one before. 26 million. That's a low cap. Fully diluted. Still pretty low. I don't even know. What are you, man? What is it? Oh, is it another one of those AI bot traders things? Maybe. Those, I feel like those might have some serious potential, man, honestly. I don't know. Look into it yourself. Don't take my word for it. You know, scams do exist. I don't know if this is one of them. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's a legit project and something fatally wrong happens with it, you know. So be careful. But with a market cap like that, you guys, if this thing were to catch traction, for example, even a $2.6 billion market cap, which is insane, by the way, it's a high market cap in itself, but for crypto, it happens, especially if something catches traction. 2.6 really isn't anything in crypto. It can happen. That'd be 100x, you know? So you put $1,000 in this, you could make 100,000. If you put $100 in this, you could make 10,000, you know? So like a little bit of money can go a long ways. There's no need for something like this to throw the whole bank at it, right? If 100,000 is a small amount of money for you, go for it. Just be aware you're going to be a sixth of the total volume. So maybe don't do that all in one order. Space it out over the weeks, over the days. But it's kind of nice, man. It kind of looks nice. I don't think it goes lower than that low. I would, if I was interested in buying this thing, and I honestly kind of am, I would think that this is a fair price. I like the look of the chart. I really do like this chart, man. I can be wrong. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But hey, you're at 73 cents. There are targets up to $11, $33. Beyond that, right? We're talking 100x potential. We could see $73 on the table. And look at that. Your 1886 lines up very well with that. Yes, it does. Just saying, man. Just saying. I might throw a little bit of cash in this. I'll let you guys know if I do. I haven't. I'm not planning. I might be planning on it, but we'll see. I'm going to write this one down, actually. I'm not even going to lie. I don't do this too often. Where's my notepad? I need that. Where? Hold on, guys. Oh. Yeah, there we go. This is why we do this stuff, man. And it could be a flop. It genuinely could. Look into it yourself. If you can't wrap your head around it, you don't understand it, don't just take my word for it. I would advise, I mean, I can't really advise anything. I'm not a financial advisor, but I would just say probably don't invest in it if you can't wrap your head around it. If you look into it and you can wrap your head around it and it's not for you, it doesn't interest you, screw it. Go look at something else that interests you. You know, that's okay. We can all have our coins and all do well or all do bad, you know. Just because I like it doesn't mean, and I don't even know if I like it. I've done a very rough look into this thing. I've gotten sidetracked enough. Let's get back on task here. But whoever recommended this one, thank you. Thank you. Probably going to make some money on it. HZEN. Over time, right? Over time. It's a really nice structure, man. It really, I like that look. I do. We like our nice curved bottoms, don't we? Lower low in the RSI, higher low in the price. Love to see it. That's bullish, hidden bullish divergence. However, I do think we go lower. I do think HZEN has lower to go. If we look at this low to this high here, you know, going back to about 273, you're at 629 now. Wouldn't be crazy. Previous areas of support down here, kind of in the middle of nowhere, but you are at your 382 there. It wouldn't be crazy to go back down to here, where you had previous resistance here, even a little support right there. Anywhere from about, let's say 180 to 270, somewhere around there. It's very common to go just below your 382, okay? But this thing does have such low liquidity, you might tip it, you might even front run it, you might find support above it. So if I was looking to buy HZEN, I would probably buy above the 382. It's one of those circumstances where I would, but I would layer in probably from like 340. Yeah, probably like 340 all the way down to like 180. Yes, it could go to 180 and I would buy as high as 340 if I was interested in buying this thing, because it's got a lot higher to go once it's done moving down, right? This is a very nice structure in itself, right? It's got that parabolic look to it. It might not even go down to 273. That's why I would start buying, maybe even higher, maybe even at like maybe around where this previous resistance was. I don't know. Not a financial advisor, not financial advice, but that's my thoughts. Maybe that wick isn't the appropriate fib to take. Maybe that is, and in which case that'd be $3.04. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's HZEN. Probably does go lower from here. Daily RSI looks sad. It looks like it wants to go lower. I would expect very much so that you would go below this low here, and with the relative fib that we have, 1272 to the 1618 would be 465 to 417. It probably won't be a straight shot down, but inevitably I do think you will go below $3. But you have a decent chance of holding around like 340, 380 even, you know, you do. But that's HZEN. YFI is the next one. YFI, Yearn Finance. And then you guys are going to talk about Bitfarms, ICP, SPA, ADA. We're going to finish it off with those. YFI looking sad, so sad. Yeah, you want to go lower. That's that. Look at that, right? You can't even get above the 50. Very sad daily RSI. This kind of look, I mean, man, I really like all this. I'd feel comfortable taking a short. I'm not going to short. I don't short in bull markets. I don't really leverage trade too much these days anymore anyways, but that I do think it's going to go down, and that makes sense, right? You found resistance up here at your previous areas of resistance throughout this whole range. You're probably going to go back to an area that you've found support on, you know, throughout this whole range as well. Maybe a little bit lower than that, maybe a little bit above that. That could be your low. That really could be your low right there. But you probably go lower than the current price at $6,900. You probably do go lower. Low to high. You know, perhaps you find a low around, or a higher low at 6,500 to 6,400. Perhaps it's at 6,100, or even perhaps the 1414 lining up with that 1 weekly close we had at about 5,400, 5,600, something like that. Could happen, yeah. Weekly RSI looks sad. Daily RSI looks sad. As far as the structure goes, I'm not worried about it. YFI, I think, is going to do well this cycle. I've often said that I think it's going to be the first like legitimate crypto to be worth over $1 million in price, and it's worth $6,900 now. So definitely a lot of potential in this one. It's accumulating. That's all it's doing, right? It's accumulating. Whenever you see these movements up and you get these nice spikes in volume that coincide with that, right? That's nice. That's a good thing. Trust me. I mean, don't trust me. Trust yourself. Trust your own opinion. I like this. I like this is all I'm trying to say. I think it looks nice. And I think the next attempt up at this resistance line that you have up here, you're going to break out, and it's going to be phenomenal. It will literally be phenomenal, you guys. As quickly as you fell, you're going to rise and then some, right? The all-time high for this thing, by the way, is at about 100 grand, just below 96, 95 grand. You're at 6,900 right now. I think you're going to demolish that price whenever it's all said and done, but lower from here. 65, 6,400, even 5,400 is on the table. You could go as low as 4,700 and still be fine. As long as you're in this accumulation range, you're fine. That's what you're doing. You're just accumulating, moving sideways until you're not. Oh, I want to look at this real quick. The ribbon. What are you doing with the ribbon? Because I remember. Oh, that's not a good look. That's not a good look. That's sad. That's actually pretty sad. Oh, it was so good. It looked so good before. I don't like that. That doesn't discourage me from anything that I've said, like recently, what I just said in this video. But it looked so good. It looked so good before. It can move. You know, sometimes actually with sideways price action, things like the ribbon, they become less reliable. So that's just how it is sometimes. YFI, probably a little bit lower, and then up. Bit farms, bitty bit farms. Looking at this here, finding support at your 123 moving average. It's not a bad look. Higher lows, it kind of makes sense to find a low here. Maybe a little bit lower. Oh, it's nice, man. You might come down and find a double bottom, a slightly lower low, or even just like right around there. You might come back down. Oh yeah. That's a nice bottom, bro. I don't know if you go lower than that. You could go lower from here. Having a hard time with this one. I like that low, man. Bitfarms might finally have its fun in the sun. Not right now, but soon. This is a good look, I'm not going to lie. We'll see. It wouldn't surprise me if it pulled back a little bit from here or just moved sideways, right? We've seen it before, right? Nice little V-shaped recovery, and then sideways, and then up more, and then sideways, and then up more. So who knows if this is going to provide dramatically higher prices soon with everything going on in the crypto markets. I wouldn't assume it does, but it's not a bad look. I'm kind of convinced that's the low, so take that for what you will. That's Bitfarms. ICP. ICUP. Looking like it wants to go lower. It was looking this week up here. It had me convinced that you were going to go higher, but I think we're back on the train of thought that prices back at this breakout area are possible, right? $8.90. Let's call it $9. Even a little bit lower than that right down here. Anywhere between about $7.35 to $9 would be my best guess. Take a low to a high. Yeah, right below the 382. It makes sense to me, man. $9 to $7, $7.35. It's probably what you're going to do. Daily RSI looks like it wants lower. Price action looks like it wants lower. You might, however, I mean, you might just keep consolidating in this kind of phase of consolidation. You've been holding up well. As long as you keep doing that, maybe you don't go lower. I mean, maybe your next low is around $12 instead, or $11.50, something like that, and then you continue to move up. But lower nonetheless from here is what I would think. So that's ICP. Kind of a head scratcher. I would just like, based off of like standard analysis, I would assume you come back to your previous breakout point and find support there. You don't have to though. You could really just be in a consolidation phase like this for a while, and then when it's time to do bullish things, you just move up. You don't need to move down. You know, that could happen too. So for now, I'd feel the most confident in saying ICP is going to be boring for the weeks and months to come, with a slight possibility of it going down to 9 to 735, somewhere in that zone. SPA, and then we're going to finish this up with ADA, and then I'm going to go to bed, man. Spirix. There's a cannabis company called Spirix. It's not spelled the same, though. Maybe it's Spirax. Top of your accumulation phase, overbought in your RSI. It's a nice looking weekly RSI, but you probably do cool off. Finding resistance at previous areas of resistance, it makes sense that you'd cool off a little bit. Yeah, we'll see you down at about 1.2 cents, maybe even 0.0073 down there, or a little bit lower. I would think you hold this 0.009 to 0.012 area. I would think you do. Daily RSI would suggest you go lower from the current price. Yeah, just a little bit. Look at that. That's nice. I like that. Oh yeah, buddy. Not always. Okay, not always. But look, a little bit of resistance there at your 123 moving average. Broke above it. Nice move above it. Just awesome. And then found support at it. Moved up. Found support at it. Broke it. And that's when this real downside took place. You moved down significantly here. But once you broke it, you look at the move that ensued. Tipped it here. Disrespect here. Disrespect. But even in the disrespect, you had support, resistance, resistance, resistance. Broke through it, found support, resistance, 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 resistance. Support, support, like to a T. You probably come back down to there. Yeah, 1.2. That's like right there. That makes sense. A little bit down and then up. Doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. You're just in an accumulation phase. Whenever it's time to move up, you might be consolidating, kind of like ICP, kind of like a few of these. You might be consolidating for a little bit in this area. You could go lower, like YFI, like some of these coins, like Mana. You could go lower, but I would think you kind of actually consolidate around this top point. You might see a breakout before most cryptos do. Might being the key word. Let's finish this up with ADA. ADA, Cardano. I hope everybody's having a good time. I hope you're liking the video. I know my energy might be a little bit low. Maybe it's not. Maybe I just feel that way, but I'm not portraying that. But man, I am tired. My daughter woke me up early this morning, man. It was my turn to wake up. Damn it. That's why, man. Shout out one moment right now. Shout out to all the single parents for whatever reason it is that you're single. Life can promote challenges, and just I don't know what they are, but if you are a single parent out there, I have a lot of respect for you. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay strong. I could not imagine doing this without my wife, so teamwork definitely helps. But single parents, if you have friends or family that are helping you out, give them a big hug, give them some love, because you know just as well as I do that it's not the easiest thing bringing and raising a little one, but it's very rewarding. It's very worth it. But shout out to the single parents out there. I hope everybody's doing well, and yeah, you guys are badasses, man. Seriously, like really, truly badasses. Let's see here. ADA. Rejecting the 50 time and time again. Looking like you want to go lower. Yes, you do. So lower it is. Maybe this fib sucks. Maybe we need another fib. We'll see you down. Oh man, I don't know. It just seems so far away for ADA. Nope, but not really. Wow, lines up well. 30 cents to 38 cents, man. You're at 47.5 right now. We'll see you at 30 to 38 cents. High emphasis around that, let's say 34 to 37 cent area. And that's all I got for you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.